Alright, so this reads Young Thug betrayed Little Durk 2.
What's poppin', y'all? We've got day 8 of Young Thugmas. I just made up whenever day 1 was. I didn't even count it. But
It's a
hey,
lot
I
of
said
stuff
day
on Young
7 or
Thug.
day 6 in the previous video. We might have to skip some days. Some days they're split up into, 2 separate instances. But we got him talking about Lil Durk now. And this, I'm going to play you guys the clip first and we're going to get into it because I have some thoughts that may surprise you on this one.
What's up with the boy Durk? You fuck with the boy Durk?
Yeah.
You need to make that nigga. You need to make that nigga. I don't know. I did a lot of player for the boy too though when the boy career went where it supposed to be, man. Pluto. I was really like locked in with him, like get really with him. But I don't know. He acting a little different. I don't like that, man.
What you mean?
Like
What he?
I done a few songs. He just like I know for sure going right up. He just goddamn taking his time, They go to
Man, that's
4-5 days,
yeah.
10 days later, just like that little type shit. Like, man, you got going on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I already know what you mean.
like, man, he did too much shit for you, man. Watch out, man.
Yeah.
He did that
Yeah,
to
when
Malad.
it drop.
Yeah, I want them on
For
my
real?
Malad album. Hell yeah. He sent a
On the
song
pump.
he sent a song for Malad album. Yeah, he sent a song for it. Then goddamn, when it's time to clear the song, he don't clear the song, so the song didn't make the album. Like, look,
Clear.
man, didn't clear it. Didn't clear the song.
What you mean ain't clear the song?
Yeah, he did. He worked that one. Then you get on the internet, keep talking about thug this and that, man. Cut that cap ass.
So this was Young Thug voicing his frustration with Lil Durk not clearing a feature or giving him a feature for his album Business is Business that he was trying to release. And previously he also talked about Kendrick Lamar, which we covered in a previous video. And Kendrick Lamar is understandable, and Young Thug came off like a hater when it came to Kendrick Lamar. You gotta think about it. Kendrick Lamar never really, I don't think he ever worked with Young Thug before that. He didn't need to work with Young Thug, and he may have considered it, but perhaps he saw Drake on there and he's like, yo, I don't mess with this guy, I don't want to be on the same project as him. That makes sense. But Lil Durk is a completely different story, and this audio clip is a completely different story as well. And I tweeted this out and said, this only looks bad because of all the other leaks. Lil Durk's career was dead when Young Thug was effing with him. He helped him a lot, so did French Montana. French Montana even talked about how Durk was living at one of his cribs in New Jersey or something like that while he was trying to get up on his feet. Thug is just frustrated he didn't clear his feature when it's obvious Durk didn't mess with what Gunna did either. So it's not like he could have said, like, because Business is Business was designed to beat Gunna's album release. He knew the album release date. He was going to try to release a day or two later, outsell him, and pretty much step on the release in the same way that, not the same way, but if you drown out the attention that something is getting, it's going to mess it up for the artist. For instance, you take a look at how good Family Matters was as a track. But, hey, man, once that Not Like Us came out, that was that. And even The Heart Part 6, like, people really don't even think about that because that song wasn't the type to step on a Not Like Us. That was just a smash hit. So it just sucked the air out of the room. And I think that's something that Young Thug was trying to do to A Gift and a Curse. It didn't work out, but Lil Durk, here, I would say, like, for instance, think about it objectively. If this audio was the only audio you had ever heard leak about Young Thug, what would you say? Let's just rewind to a week ago before the interrogation footage. You'd probably think to yourself, yo, like, this guy's just, why wouldn't Durk give him a feature? That's the first thing that would come to your mind. Why is Durk acting like that? But instead, it's, man, Lil Durk's talking about, or Young Thug is snaking Lil Durk too. No, Young Thug is not snaking Lil Durk. And I don't even consider this backbiting either, because he's not talking about Lil Durk's character at all. This is him voicing his frustration, and I think this is an am I tripping moment. Like, for example, if something happens to you with a friend or somebody that you think is a friend, you could, well, some people, they'll just listen to somebody on TikTok tell them something and then leave their boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. But some people will say, you know what, I want to get insight from a third party that isn't attached to this that may give me a better assessment of the situation, whether that be, in this case, his manager, or some people it's a therapist, whatever the case may be. And he says, hey, look, this is the situation. I've done a lot for this guy. We've been close. We chop it up, or we've chopped it up all the time. I helped his career a lot. And now, like, when I asked him for a favor, when I really need it, I'm behind bars. He's hot right now. I'm trying to get back on somebody that's a rat who we both agree we don't like rats, he's kind of ghosting me and he's not replying, and I don't really like that. That's what he's asking. He's not saying, like, yo, Lil Durk is a snake. He's not making any conclusive statements about Durk. It's just a frustration. Now, I will say that, like, the kikiing and the ha-ha is just, Young Thug's laugh is so funny. They need that on a soundboard. Some live streamer needs to put that on a soundboard or something. But I agree with Thug here, because if we take a look at Lil Durk's career, man, after My Beyonce, even with My Beyonce, that song went gold. Diamond. What am I talking about? That song went gold, but that was a point in time where Lil Durk's identity wasn't really all the way there. That was the last project that he had on Def Jam, and on that project, Young Thug was on there. He was on the track So What. This was 2016. Keep in mind, 2016 Thug? Dog. This is post Slime Season 2. This is prime Thug. And then you've got 2017. 2017 is when nobody was paying attention to Lil Durk. Like, he had that project They Forgot. People was not really listening to that. YFN Lucci was on there, and YFN Lucci and Durk were tight. YFN Lucci appeared on several Durk albums. He appeared on Love Songs for the Streets. He appeared on They Forgot. I think he was even on Signed to the Streets 2.5 as well. So he was on 3 straight Lil Durk projects while he was beefing with Young Thug. So I don't know how that worked out. Like, Love Songs for the Streets, Young Thug was also on there on the track No Love. So those are 2 tracks. Now, neither of these tracks ended up being hits. We have to make that clear as well, because there is a distinction to be made there. But the point is that he was around. Like, if you're a quote-unquote falling off rapper and you're on tracks and you're around hot rappers, it's enough. It's enough to keep you afloat. And even like the song Downfall, right? Young Dolph and Lil Baby were on that. That was on Signed to the Streets 3. I will say that the moment that Lil Durk blew up again was when when King Von started blowing up. So that was around like Love Songs for the Streets 2. That right after that, because he had a Nicki Minaj feature on that too. Love Songs for the Streets 2 is when Lil Durk got up again. And some people say, well, like Laugh Now, Cry Later. Yeah, that really just exploded him. But it was like, why do you think Drake gave him that feature? Because he got hot enough to where it would make sense that it would take him to the next level. And in the meantime, he was consistently working with Young Thug and being around Young Thug. Like that famous meme where you see Lil Durk sitting down and Young Thug behind him. That was Lil Durk who had fell off. So Young Thug did a lot for him, and that's just, we're talking about features. We're not even talking about who knows what he did for him when he moved to Atlanta, because Durk moved to Atlanta from Chicago. He was in New Jersey for a while. But for example, like he appeared on at least 10 tracks they were on together, whether it was on other people's projects. Like, for example, they were on a Cowboy track with Lil Durk and Meek, or Lil Durk, Meek Mill, and Young Thug. They were on a track that was in 2019, and since then they just kept being on tracks together. I will say though, I'm not gonna count anything post 2020, because simply for the fact that they were both hot at that point. It made sense. But even going back to 2015, like Lil Durk and Young Dolph were on the song Trap House, which I think was like a mixtape track or a remix or something like that. They were on the track Internet together. They were on Lil Boat 3 together with Yachty, but this was 2020. At this point, he was already hot. That's why I don't really count it. And then, of course, Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Lil Baby comes from Young Thug, so I think Young Thug feels like he helped birth that relationship. So I'm really wondering what's the deal with Lil Durk. I wonder why he didn't clear it. Was it a business thing? This was 2023. Lil Durk had as much leverage as possible. He couldn't talk, and Young Thug was locked up, so that's really when you would want to do him a favor. And some people were saying Durk kept saying, yo, free Thug. He said free Thug more than anybody. Yeah, saying free somebody is cool, but when he actually needs you, that's when it matters. Like, you saying free him, like, dog, a random person on the street is saying free him. He's asking you, like, hey, this would really help me out right now, and you're not responding to him in the way that you usually do. And that's, I gotta say, this isn't a character judgment on Lil Durk, because some people will also say, like, yo, Academics was also holding Lil Durk down, playing 2K with him, giving him a lot of promo. There were times when Academics was live with Durk to promote whatever upcoming project he had, and the chat was full of people saying, yo, why is Durk on here? This guy fell off. Why is he on here? So people were like, yo, you're stepping down a level. And he but he took a lot of time, did a lot of interviews with many other outlets before he finally did one with Academics. Now, he promised him he would do one, and he did eventually do one, but maybe it's a situation like that. I don't know. And that's not like there was still always that media slash rapper relationship, whereas with Young Thug and Lil Durk, they're peers, as opposed to there's an adversarial relationship to a degree between media and rapper, especially after the King Von stuff. Like, that's a tough situation for Lil Durk, and I think Lil Durk knew all the legal stuff that he had, but he still gave academics the interview. That's the point that we want to make here. Young Thug has not gotten that feature from Durk, but what I'm speculating on is, what if, keep in mind, this is when he's locked up, what if Durk had already gotten word of the interrogation stuff, the interrogation footage, and he didn't want to appear on a feature with him because of that? I don't know. That's a possibility, although I don't think it's likely. I don't think it has anything to do with Durk's case himself. Maybe he just wanted to distance himself from the whole situation because maybe he was involved with something with them that we don't know about. But I do think this is odd behavior by Durk, and I do think Young Thug did not do anything wrong here. Now, is it ideal? No. Ideally, Young Thug is mature enough to be like, yo, what's the deal with the feature? I don't want to press anything, man, but I feel like there's this weird energy between us, like you're not replying to me like you usually do, and talk it out like that. But come on now, like, just judging by the other calls with Young Thug, do you expect him to do that? No, of course not. So I'm willing to cut Young Thug bail here, and I think that they might be running out of material on him if this is what they're letting out, or they're just trying to let it out with like how popular the rapper is first. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification.
Probably just to show that whether they're still in the game, or whether they're still hot, as he sort of said. I guess it just depends on like if they're still relevant in the industry. I guess sort of say in particular, but so far as like connecting with features to other rappers, but at the end of the day, they are artists, but I don't know. It's just based on people's opinions on, or just based on like maybe they may have a relationship, maybe not, or I don't know, whatever the case may be.